AI is taking over Hollywood, threatening to replace filmmakers and sparking industry chaos. But it's not just jobs at risk. With deepfake scams on the rise and even whispers of death linked to AI's explosive growth, what's really happening in Hollywood? Let's dive in, peeling back the layers to uncover a story that perhaps might be more sinister than you thought.
Text-to-video creation being called a revolution in filmmaking.
The market for generative AI in media and entertainment is expected to grow from $1.7 billion this year to $11.5 billion by 2032.
AI technology takes away some of the traditional barriers that are faced by movie makers trying to crack Hollywood.
Movies that will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI.
Nobody can ever replicate me or what I do. AI is a scary thing.
We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy.
They are aware that certain jobs will likely go away, and it is something they're worried about.
AI is always very dangerous in that way.
Digital superintelligence, basically digital God.
AI is another more powerful tool, and it's going to be used by those people for basically really evil purposes.
They have to be able to violate copyright in order to train their AI.
Biology was discovered dead in his San Francisco apartment.
It's the final nail of a coffin in the internet.
It's a bunch of evil robots that will become sentient, that will take over, that are going to destroy humanity.
Some of the first industry effects were felt during the Writers Guild of America strike in 2023. The writers' strike wasn't just about residuals, pay, or job security. It was about survival. Writers were terrified of being replaced by AI tools like ChatGPT that had recently been released and was making huge waves. After 5 long months, the strike ended with a historic deal: higher pay, better residuals, and a promise that AI would not replace writers.
AI's use in Hollywood productions was a key issue in last year's actor and writer strikes. The studios agreed not to use AI to replace them.
Yet, the terms revealed a haunting truth. AI wasn't going anywhere. Writers could still use AI to assist in brainstorming, drafting scripts, and even writing, but they wouldn't be forced to by the studios. And anything created with AI would remain their intellectual property. It was a victory, but a hollow one. The industry had effectively acknowledged that AI wasn't an intruder, it was a permanent resident. And if you're thinking, well, this doesn't even affect me, think about it. How many of your favorite shows had a 1-year gap or even a 2-year gap between new seasons? The ripples are still going. So who's next on AI's list? Actors. In 2024, Scarlett Johansson became the center of a chilling controversy. OpenAI released a voice in their ChatGPT 4 model called Sky, which many felt was eerily similar to Johansson's voice, an echo of her role as the AI Samantha in the film Her.
I'm really excited about teaming up with you.
Hi. How you doing?
OpenAI denied any intention to replicate her voice, claiming it belonged to a different actress. But the backlash was swift and unrelenting. Eventually, OpenAI pulled the voice option, but the damage was done. This wasn't an isolated incident.
The AI clone of your voice. What's your reaction to that?
It's still infuriating. Not just because of the implications for my career, but because of the violation of my individuality.
Deepfakes, a once novel technology, are now so advanced, they're sometimes indistinguishable from reality. Bollywood star Anil Kapoor found himself in a similar situation. Fake videos of him began circulating online. While Kapoor was able to fight back and win in courts, his victory wasn't reassuring for everyone. For most people, those without the resources of Hollywood elites, the threat of deepfake identity theft looms large. Scammers abroad are already exploiting this technology, using fake videos of family members to extract money from unsuspecting victims who just want to help their loved ones.
Calls you and say, oh, I'm touring Istanbul and I lost my credit card. Can I use your credit card while I'm here? And I'll pay you back when I get home. And you recognize the voice, you recognize everything about it. It might have even been a video call. And then you give them your credit card and bada bing, AI just stole your credit card.
There's no telling the nefarious things that could be done with this technology. But how did we get here? How's this technology even been made possible? All of these AI models had to be trained on millions of pieces of content, maybe even billions, to become the superpower that they are.
It also means that they have to use data from somewhere, and they are not always transparent about where that data comes from.
It must have inputs to create massive data outputs. Meta has their own AI model called Llama. So where did some of this come from? Well, Meta's in hot water right now with a copyright lawsuit against them. Internal documents were just revealed that the company knowingly used pirated data from sources like Library Genesis to train its AI models. LibGen is allegedly an online library of pirated books. But the Zuck would never let this happen, right? CEO Mark Zuckerberg was allegedly aware this was a data set we know to be pirated and decided to proceed with the training anyway. Remember in school when you used to have to cite your sources, and if you didn't, you could be hit with plagiarism and fail? Imagine ingesting an entire library's worth of books and never citing a single one. That's what Meta did, allegedly. OpenAI is really at the epicenter of it all. It's truly where the AI Big Bang began. Suchar Balaji, a former researcher at OpenAI, alleged that the company utilized copyrighted internet data without proper authorization to develop products like ChatGPT. And he expressed ethical concerns over these practices, suggesting they might violate copyright laws. Well, where's Suchar now? He was found lifeless, alone in his apartment, November of 2024. This came at a pivotal time when he was soon meant to testify in the New York Times trial in court. It gets darker and goes much deeper. Suchar's parents claim that foul play occurred.
The pen drive is missing, and then his computer was messed up. His desktop was left on for 3 days.
Based on their findings at the scene in his apartment, they believe their son did not do it himself. They needed data, an extraordinary amount of it, to train models capable of creating visually stunning content. AI must learn from millions of existing clips. But herein lies the moral dilemma. Where does all this data come from? Legally, companies are supposed to license their training material, paying for access to stock footage, television shows, or movies. But this process is expensive, tedious, and sometimes limiting. Allegations suggest that some companies may have taken shortcuts, subscribing to APIs from stock footage websites and running their entire libraries through training algorithms. If true, this method comes with eerie consequences. Early AI-generated videos and photos occasionally featured watermarks, faint, ghostly imprints hovering over the visuals. Why? Because the AI models were trained on some watermarked footage. The models learned that videos often contained watermarks, mistaking them as essential to the content. It's unsettling to think about. These machines didn't just absorb information, they inherited artifacts of their questionable training. Another piece of evidence that AI video models were trained almost exclusively on stock footage is the fact that nearly every AI video you ever generate is in slow motion. Why would it primarily generate slow motion shots? That's not normal video, right? Well, the bulk majority of clips on stock footage websites are in slow motion. So the output merely matches the input. But it goes deeper. Rumors swirl that companies in China have allegedly used entire libraries of TV shows and movies to train their models. And the results? Breathtakingly cinematic AI-generated clips. These videos don't just look professional. They rival the work of seasoned Hollywood cinematographers. The kind of artistry that took humans decades to master is now distilled into a machine that can recreate it in seconds. Some companies are attempting to do things the right way. Lionsgate has partnered with Runway ML, and other studios are following suit, working to ensure that training data is sourced legally and ethically. These partnerships aim to address the growing outcry from creators who see their life's work being repurposed without consent. But for every legal effort, there's a shadow of ambiguity. The damage is already done, and AI models trained on pirated or unauthorized content are already in circulation, and their origins are cloaked in secrecy. Now, platforms like YouTube are allowing creators to opt out of having their videos used for AI training, but for many, it's too late. Consider the case of MKBHD, one of the most popular tech YouTubers. When he experimented with generating an AI video of a tech reviewer, the result included a small but unmistakable detail, a plant on the desk. Not just any plant, it looked identical to the one MKBHD often has in his videos. This wasn't coincidence. It was proof that AI has been trained on thousands of hours of his content. And it's not just YouTube and Hollywood's creative content that's being ingested. AI-generated videos are particularly adept at replicating news footage. It can generate realistic clips of news anchors, even with lower thirds. And these platforms didn't film their own original news segments, they were trained on thousands of hours of existing news footage. Footage owned by studios, networks, and journalists. By the time anyone could raise a red flag, the content had already been absorbed into the machines. Now, the question is, what can be done? These AI models are trained, deployed, and producing content that blurs the line between real and synthetic. Many other parts of the filmmaking process are being disrupted also. Storyboarding, shot listing, animating, voiceovers, poster art, and so on. What once required a team of artists and weeks of work can now be done in hours by a single person. We'll dive deeper into how AI is actually affecting the visual effects world in a future video because it is monumental. And trust me, I know, being the co-founder of a virtual production filmmaking app called Skyglass, I've got a lot of experience in this. All of these tools are enabling filmmakers to create movies and videos on tiny budgets that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. But with this rapid advancement comes a cost. Some jobs will become obsolete.
People will lose jobs. Many new jobs will be created.
There's no denying the potential for good. AI can make filmmaking more accessible, democratizing storytelling and enabling new voices to emerge. But there's also no denying the side effects. When you watch an AI-generated video, there's something intangible missing. Call it soul, humanity, whatever it is, you can feel its absence, at least for now. The challenge now is to find a balance. Can AI assist and elevate human creativity without replacing it? The question isn't just what AI can do, it's what we're willing to let it do. The story of AI in Hollywood is far from over. This is just the beginning.